The term Renaissance woman could have been invented for Suzanne Somers. She's now filthy rich, and the reason why might surprise you. She's had a rich career as an actress, entrepreneur, and spokesperson, and she's not slowing down anytime soon. Let's look back at Suzanne Somers' life and career and how she's keeping herself busy today. Suzanne's early life and career. Suzanne Mahoney was born October 16, 1946 in San Bruno, California. She's the third of 4 children born to Frank and Marion. Her mother was a medical secretary and her dad was a laborer, mostly earning money by loading cases of beer into boxcars. But it seemed his love for alcohol wasn't limited to his work. Her father was physically abusive towards her, and this traumatized her for much of her life. To make matters worse, she was diagnosed with dyslexia at a young age and was a poor student. She took on an early interest in the theater and excelled at almost everything related to the arts. She won a music scholarship for college, but her studies were cut short when she got pregnant by a boyfriend. She married her boyfriend, Bruce Somers, and took his surname. They had one son, also named Bruce. Unfortunately, she was unhappy and they divorced only 2 years later. Around this time, she also distanced herself from 2 of her siblings who had also become alcoholics. She was a single mother on her own without qualifications and a desperate need to survive. Her natural beauty made her ideal for modeling. For the first few years of her working life, she worked exclusively as a model to support herself and her son. She eventually landed a gig as a prize model on the show Anniversary Game, hosted by Alan Hamel. While he was married at the time, the two began dating and eventually got married in 1977 after Alan left his wife. In the late 60s and until the late 70s, she also began acting as a means to earn more money. She mostly played bit parts in popular films and TV shows. Her first role was a small uncredited one in the 1968 film Bullitt. One of her first major breaks was when she appeared in 3 different episodes of Starsky and Hutch, each time playing a different role. Before we tell you more about Suzanne Somers' life and career, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. Suzanne's acting career. Suzanne Somers was cast as Chrissy Snow in the sitcom Three's Company. This was a lead role in an ensemble that also included John Ritter and Janet Wood. She played Chrissy for 5 seasons. Chrissy was a sexy and silly secretary. The character launched Suzanne Somers to stardom and helped craft her public image. She was the epitome of beauty and sexiness. But she certainly wasn't silly and has excellent business acumen. She left the show after she was refused a pay hike. She eventually decided to create her own production company to make sure she could also profit from films and TV shows. While leaving Three's Company was a slight setback in her career, she continued to act in TV and had occasional film work. She appeared in the popular TV movies Goodbye Charlie and Rich Men, Single Women. She was also cast as Sheriff Hildy Granger in the series She's the Sheriff. By the 1990s, she'd become so well known that she made several cameo appearances as herself in popular TV shows. Some of these included the TV movie Keeping Secrets and the TV shows Sister, The Larry Sanders Show, Full House, and The Simpsons. Throughout the 90s, she also acted in TV movies such as Devil's Food, No Laughing Matter, and The Darklings. Her final notable TV role was as Carol Foster Lombard, a role she first played in the series ABC TGIF and later in Step by Step. Her final acting role was as herself in the feature film Say It Isn't So, released in 2001. Her notable film roles included work in the films American Graffiti, Magnum Force, Billy Jack Goes to Washington, Nothing Personal, and Rusty, A Dog's Tale. While she hasn't acted since 2001, she's still recognized in public for her acting roles. Her role in Three's Company still follows her around, and fans love her to this day for it. But while she stepped away from acting, she's kept herself busy as a multifaceted entrepreneur and public personality. Suzanne's other ventures. During the 90s, Suzanne began looking to other ventures to succeed with. Her celebrity, beauty, and charming personality landed her the gig of being the spokeswoman for a new exercise equipment called the Thigh Master. She no doubt helped this product become popular, and in 2014, she got inducted into the Infomercial Hall of Fame. During this time, she also traveled to military bases to entertain the troops. She often performed her one-woman show, The Blonde and the Thunderbird, which had first debuted on Broadway. While there were some critics who didn't offer praise for the show, it didn't matter. The troops loved her performance, and she received a Patriotic Civilian Service Award for her acting. The Blonde and the Thunderbird was a series of skits and monologues about her childhood and her journey to becoming a professional entertainer. She also briefly hosted 2 talk shows, Suzanne Somers Breaking Through on the website Cafe Mom, and a Lifetime talk show called The Suzanne Show. She also briefly hosted Candid Camera in the late 90s. She's also written a series of self-help books, One of the most notable ones was Ageless, The Naked Truth About Bioidentical Hormones. In this book, Suzanne discusses her views on bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, specifically the Wiley protocol. Writing the book inspired her to be more vocal about her views on modern medicine and wellness. She's promoted alternative treatments for cancer and has also spoken about how she decided not to go with chemotherapy for her cancer treatment. She's received criticism for her contrarian views on medicine and wellness, but she's never backed down. Most recently, she also performed on the popular reality show Dancing with the Stars. While she and her partner, Tony Dovolani, were eliminated after only 5 weeks, her popularity hadn't waned at all, and there was still a demand to see her on TV. Suzanne Somers is filthy rich. Suzanne certainly didn't have the best start in life. Her troubled family life took its emotional toll, and her poor grades in school must have discouraged her tremendously. Her unhappy marriage to Bruce Somers and having to survive as a single mother certainly didn't make matters easier. Once she began to work, she knew financial freedom had to be the focus of her career. She stated that as a younger person, she didn't value money and would waste it. It took her time to realize that financial stability was the only option to give her the freedom and control over her life and career. By the time she began acting in the 5th season of Three's Company, she was earning $30,000 an episode. It was during this time she tried to negotiate a pay raise of $150,000 an episode. This is what led to a feud with the producers and caused her to leave the show. She stated this price was equal to what John Ritter was earning, and she felt she deserved the same. But while this negotiation didn't work out, Suzanne wasn't going to stop working towards becoming wealthy. As a spokesman for the Thigh Master, writer, and online retailer, she's become a multi-millionaire. She also made a great profit a few years back when she and her husband Alan sold their home in Palm Springs, California. She's now in her 70s, yet she's showing no signs of slowing down. She continues to earn well from her infomercials as well as her books and instructional videos. She's a perfect example of the American dream. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think Suzanne Somers is more well known from her acting or her business ventures? Let us know in the comment section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.